Good morning, students. I am Dr. Kalpana, lecturer in biotechnology, Government College for Men, Kadapa. Today, I discuss on causative agent, its structure, transmission, immune response by host, and pathogenesis of COVID-19. The contents of this lecture is aim, history, isolation, characterization of virus, transmission, virus structure, viral entry, host immune response, clinical symptoms, and prevention. The aim of this lecture is to give awareness to students. Mainly, it is prepared for undergraduate students. The students who have studied paper 4 immunology and medical biotechnology can understand better. And we know many viral diseases. Here and there, I compare this viral disease with others. It gives the introduction to how to develop therapeutic agents for a new disease, and I discuss uh, application of each of the paper you study in the BSc Biotechnology syllabus. First, history. So it is 31st December 2019 when Wuhan Municipal Health Commission reported that 27 cases of unexplained pneumonia, and these cases were linked to Yunnan seafood market. And finally, the causative agent is known as a virus. So they have cultured different types of bacterial species with the from these samples, and they failed to culture the bacteria, so they came to know that it is viral pneumonia. And the World Health Organization declared it as pandemic because it affects more than 200 countries in the world. And then the virologist or the microbiologist who came to play main role here is, first they cultured the virus using sterile lung cells. You know that viruses cannot be cultured on the synthetic media, so they need some biological cells, live cells. So they have cultured these virus using sterile lung cells. This you can study in animal biotechnology paper. And finally, after culturing the virus, they isolated the genetic material from the virus, and using nucleic acid sequencing methods. You study Maxam Gilbert method and Sanger's dideoxy chain termination method. So they have used somewhat advanced one, that is next generation sequencing. So now we have the nucleic acid sequence with us. Then the bioinformatics came to play here. So they compared the sequence with already known virus sequences. So the genetic material is a single standard positive sense RNA, a little bit larger RNA. So it is approximately 30 kilobases, and this virus belongs to beta coronaviruses. So in the coronaviruses, alpha, beta, gamma, or delta are there. So in that, it belongs to beta coronaviruses, and it is the seventh member to affect the human. So already six members are known to cause diseases in the humans. So it is the seventh one. The recent epidemics of coronaviruses is SARS-CoV 2003, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, and MERS, Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, in 2012. Usually in the viruses, recombination mutation is more. So mutation of two proteins, that is non-structural protein 2 and 3, may confer the ability to infect these present virus to spill over into humans. Then transmission. So it is thought that respiratory droplets, direct contact, fomites are the modes of transmission. And in the patient's stool or fecal samples or in the urine, we can observe the virus particles, but the fecal oral route is not yet established. Then stability of this virus. So how much time is it viable on the plastic surfaces or metal surfaces, or up to which temperature it can able to withstand. These are some characterization of these proteins. Until now, no intrauterine vertical transmission was reported. That means from mother to child during the gestation period, it is not the virus is not transmitted. And the incubation period was thought to be 14 days, and later on it is found that a patient after 27 days she can able to infect the other 5 members of her family without any symptoms. And the R naught value is more than 1. R naught value is epidemiologically it can be defined as a person from which how many other persons can get these contagious diseases. So it is more than 1. So at a time a person can infect more number of patients. It indicates that R naught value is more than 1 means it's a continuously it's spreading in the communities. Then after identification of the genetic material and the structure is predicted, and it looks like the following figure. So more than 87% of nucleotide sequence is similar to bat SARS like CoV. So in the genetic material it has 5' UTR replicase complex, spike proteins, envelope proteins, membrane proteins, nucleocapsid, and 3' untranslated region and other non-structural proteins. So in the previous cases we have discussed that it is more similar to bat SARS-CoV like coronaviruses, but exception is spike protein. So it is 94.4% similar with the SARS-CoV. So it is more similar to uh, 2003 epidemic like SARS-CoV. So then it is named as SARS-CoV-2 or novel SARS coronavirus. Then finally the disease is named as novel coronaviral virus diseases and COVID-19. And its RNA has 5' cap structure and at the end 3' poly A tail. We can see such type of structure in eukaryotic RNA. So it gives or it facilitates immediate translation of the proteins. Then how the virus enters into the host cell. So it is the spike protein, and it is spike protein is a homotrimer. That means 3 copies of the spike proteins form together, and S1 and S2, these are the two divisions or two domains of the spike protein. S1 is mainly functions in receptor binding, and S2 functions as in the S2 mediates in the membrane fusion. So these two are the therapeutic targets. So if you inhibit the binding of the receptor or fusing the membrane, we can stop the disease. And to which receptor it binds is ACE2. It is angiotensin converting enzyme 2. So these ACE2 receptors are found on epithelial cells of lungs, heart, kidney, blood vessels, etc. So all the vital organs. So ACE1 is another receptor. The gene is mapped on 17th chromosome. Usually because of the ACE1, vasoconstriction occurs. ACE2 is mapped to X chromosome. Usually females have two X chromosomes, but you know that only one is functional. And ACE2, because of the ACE2, vasodilation occurs. So S2 fuses to the host cell membrane and releases the viral genome. If the ACE2 function is reduced, that is after binding of the virus to the particular receptors, maybe the ACE2 function is diminished, so the vasoconstriction occurs because of the ACE1, and it leads to cardiovascular problems. Then how the immune system responds against this virus. So first, after entering into the cell, the translation of RNA occurs. So production of replicase complex is must. Once it is produced, it takes care of rest of the protein production and assembly of the virions. Here it is another therapeutic target. If you inhibit the formation of the replicase complex, we can inhibit the replication of the virus here. And then regarding antigen presentation, so usually MHC1 involved in the viral protein presentation, and MHC1 are present almost all nucleated cells, and MHC2 is present only on immune cells. But in this case, along with MHC1, MHC2 also contributes this presentation. So cell mediated and humoral immunity will be initiated, and in the alveoli, because of the immune responses, hyaline lining will be formed. So uh, exchange of gases is reduced, and at the same time inflammatory mediators are increased abruptly, that means in the large quantity. It leads to cytokine storm, and finally it leads to lung injury and death in some cases because of the acute respiratory distress syndrome. Usually the coronaviruses, while packing the virions, the spike protein will not go to the envelope, and it makes large multinucleated host cells. So it acts as a bridge to transfer the virions from infected cell to uninfected neighboring cells to mask the host immune response. And what are the clinical symptoms of these coronaviruses? Usually fever, cold, cough, shortness of breath are some common symptoms, but some patients exhibit no fever. They look like normal healthy people. These are called asymptomatic carriers. So they can spread the disease, but they do not suffer from the disease, or they do not show any symptoms. Usually in the lungs, after the radio photograph, we can see ground glass opacity in the severe cases. How it is diagnosed? So reverse transcriptase RT-PCR, that is real-time PCR. So here we amplify the RNA viral genome so that we know that when the viral load is very low. Otherwise, we can test with ELISA by detecting the viral proteins or the antibodies we produce against the virus, and the kits are ready to identify the antibodies. The technique here is immunochromatography and normal X-ray and CT scan. Sometimes we can go for viral cultures. And what is the treatment for this coronaviral disease? So no specific antiviral treatment is available till date. Only supportive therapy is given based on the symptoms, and some of the drug candidates are in clinical trials. Once the clinical trials are completed, we came to know which we will know which drug is um, possibly arrest the infection of this virus. Then possible options. So usually for the viral infections, immediately interferon gamma will be produced. So we can clone, express and characterize and finally purify in large scales of interferon gamma, and it can be used as therapy. Or production of antigens to produce neutralizing antibodies. So if you want to produce neutralizing antibodies in the large scale, first we need a particular antigen. So production of antigen is another way. And plasma therapy, this is the convalescent serum. So in some cases we can see the side effects like serum sickness. Then how to prevent this infection? Only thing is boosting up immunity and breaking chain. So just we are doing with the lockdown, and avoid nosocomial infections. So we should not go unnecessary to the hospitals or unnecessary to outside of the places, and maintain the cleanliness is important. So this This lecture is to give only awareness to the students. Thank you for listening.